Oh, hey there, welcome. It's finally time for us to crack on with the brick-breaking, mountain-smashing, Ralgar-worshipping monk relics for the Anima series, part of Heavensward. We have here the Rising Suns, I believe is what they're called. Yep, Rising Suns. They are the awoken version. As you can see here, these spiked fists of crushing power are quite nice looking on the side at the moment. They are glove type weapons, so they will not actually, well, they're fist type weapons that will actually go into your hands rather than actually take over your glove slot, which sometimes monks have a love-hate relationship with that type of thing, and it's why I both love and hate monk at the same time. I really like it when it's a weapon that doesn't take up the glove slot, but sometimes, depending on if it looks good, like certain ones later down the line, it can work as well. But anyway, this is indeed the first stage. Let's have a look at it. You can see there, you actually see a nice little sort of little touch to detail, like as you equip them, it actually envelops in the aether from the anima itself that has been imbued into this weapon. Got a nice little bit of stuff swirling around as well, and it's all very nice and spiky still. It's just a very nice start to, you know, the first stage of a relic. I mean, outside of it, you know, first shiny stage at least, sorry, should I say. It's not going to wow anybody, but you know what? I don't see many people using it, in all honesty, but I do think this series for the monk is underrated, especially the final form, but we'll get to that as we go. Alright, here we go, next stage, and I'm going to absolutely butcher this name, but it's the Fragna or something? Either way, this is them. Nothing super special. It's got some nice little spikes at the end, so really, like, you know, when you're punching the enemy, like, they really got to feel it. But it's sort of where you grab onto it type things. It still covers it. This is what I kind of wish the Zodiac weapon was like, rather than what we did get. It looked a bit unwieldy with the way it is. It would have looked better if it was like this instead. Now, the hyperconductive version, which is right here, you can see, very similar with the thematic stuff that has been with the other hyperconductive stages so far, where it kind of looks like the aether is cracking upon the surface and is trying to break free. It is what it is, so yeah. So the next stage, which you'll be going to, is interestingly called the Sultana's Fists. And it feels like, hey, but Wubsy, you're kind of skipping over this quite quickly. There's not much to say. It's a shiny fist, it's glowing, it's got cracking aether bits on it too. It's nice. There you go. That's the weapon. Let us go to Sultana's Fist. Now, these little boys, these are what I was talking about at the start. These are not weapons which you equip per se, like regular weapons. Don't sheath them away, you're always wearing them, but they take up the glove slot. They don't look too bad. They got a nice little bit of prayer beads down here, like for the chakra. Got a nice little sort of like wavy bit here as well, like, you know, from the way things are. But the one thing which I like about these the most is you can work them into a glam, is when you actually do unleash them, is these little bits here which you see fan out, and they've got little blades on. It's an interesting sort of way of doing it. Like, it's kind of reminds me almost like a hidden blade type thing. Like, I could actually see like a member of royalty actually having these in emergency should they need to defend themselves or whatever. So like, there they are, they're just wearing them normally, and then someone comes along to try and attack them, unleashed, slash across the throat, like, shite! Dead, sir. Dead. So here we go. The shiny version, the sharpened version of Sultana's Fist. I've seen a few people use these. As I stated before, it's kind of hard to work these into a glam because you don't really... Not that you can't do it, but like, it takes up the sleeve or the glove part of things, certain things. So long coats, like for example the Crypt Lurker set, these will work quite nicely. They'll actually cover the wrists and everything, but then you get the end bits. So it still kind of works quite nicely. Anything like gauntlets you have, then it just will not work. But this is the sharpened version. It's got the, the aether like circulating around it, almost like ad infinitum, and it's not too bad. Oh, this, the circulation patterns and stuff too. I like it. It's like you're holding, once again, like an almost, not quite the star like with the Around Reborn relics, but it's still quite nice. But onto the next form and the final forms that exist for the monk relics. Feels like we're getting through these really quickly, but hey, I said there'd be less to talk about when it came to some of these relics, and boy howdy, I'm not lying. Alright, and here we go. The nipples, I will butcher it completely. You can see here, this is the final sort of last few stages for the Anima relic. It's got like what the others do as well. It's got a few little runes on them. It's got a nice sort of gem right here in the middle. Personally, I really like these. They're back to the glove type relic weapon as well, or just weapon in general. It goes right over your things. It like, well, it literally fits you like a glove. Got some handles for you to grab onto. But they're really, really just nice chunky knuckles. So when you bring them out, I think they look really, really, really nice personally. Got a nice sort of, like the Anima itself is like a bird bursting forth from the crystal in the middle. That is where it's being housed. And it's just a lovely little symbol. It really is. I really do like it. Personally, I know there are plenty who don't. And there's some little spiky bits here in the center. But of course, what does the final form look like at the very end? It is this here, the Nipples Lux. It goes from, well, what we just saw to this. Not much of a change. It's kind of almost pretty much the same. The actual weapon itself does change a little bit in colorization. It's a bit more bronze with the actual sort of gem in the middle being a bit more green, as you saw. A bit more green here and there. And the runes themselves, there's a bit more to them as well. When you bring them out, just same thing, but it's green. And I personally do think this is a very underrated as a weapon. I know there's plenty of people out there who really don't like this relic, but depending on how you make it work and make it, what you pair it with in terms of like glams, I think it'll work quite nicely. I actually use this weapon in this glam plate itself with this outfit. I think it looks quite nice. It gives that sort of like bouncer, bruiser type look, because that's the sort of look I sort of went for, like casual monk, like, yeah, I'm just at a freaking club, I'm just here to protect the people. You want to freaking go? I'm gonna bring out my glowy fist and I'm gonna punch you and you're gonna freaking ricochet across the room. You got that? Capiche, man, capiche. Yeah, that's the Monk Anima Relic series. Enjoy. Once again, I still think the Anima Relic series is one of the best ones out there in terms of relics at the moment. We currently have the Endwalker ones currently with the Mandeville. So far, so good with quite a few of them. I know there's a few umming and ahs about certain ones, but quite frankly, it's all down to personal taste. Not everybody is going to like every relic's look, and there are those who will like the relics which people hate, and there are those who hate the relics that people love. I'm sure there are people out there who really don't like the way Excalibur looks, or don't like the way that the Anima relics look at the end. I personally think that the Dark one looks inferior now. It used to be one of the better looking ones, but since they brought in the Shadowbringers series, I think that final form is inferior to some of the stages for the Shadowbringers. That's just the way it do be. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on twitch.tv/Swabzy. Do share this video with your friends. It does help the algorithm. And yeah, take care of yourselves. We got a few more relics to go with. Got a lot more of the DPS to have a look at too. I might do Ninja next. We'll see.